Welcome! This is Jay with Explorer Systems. We're going to take a look at events and sales for camps and classes in Versai. Camps and classes events are one-time or reoccurring workshop sessions that are open to individuals of the public. If you used Explorer, you'll know these as patron education. Camps and classes events are sold in camps and classes sales, which is unique compared to other sales types by 1. Capturing detailed information for each attendee versus only information about the group or family as a whole, and 2. The ability to bundle multiple sections or dates into a single session. In Part 1, we look at setting them up in the Events tab. In Part 2, we look at selling them in the Sales tab. Part 1. Setting up camps and classes events. The setup takes place in the Events tab. A camps and classes event itself is set up in Events, but we need to first make sure that we have the other setup areas in place. Let's look at venues, which are locations events can be booked in. If your venue is not in the list, we need to create a new one. Click New, enter a short code, type a name, and the capacity of the location. If it applies to your institution, set the ticket stub or web venue group. In ticket packages, a new single ticket type is automatically created for the new venue. Next, we'll check categories. Categories are the types of fees you charge, usually based on who you are admitting. For camps and classes, you might reuse adult, child, member adult, and member child, for instance. It can be better to reuse what you have in order to make reports more useful, but don't force it if it doesn't make sense. To create a new one, click New, enter a short code and name. Select the types of transactions that this category can be used in. Make sure you at least check camps and classes sales. If the category represents a new person walking through the door, which is most camps and classes, check Count Attendance. You can also assign a category group for reporting. If your institution uses kiosks or a web storefront, check the appropriate boxes. Now we can set up the event itself. On the right, make sure Camps and Classes is selected, and then click New. Fill in the code and name. Choose a default venue from the list, set a duration in minutes, and the capacity, which is the max number of people who can participate at once. If it applies to your institution, set the stub information. Set the date range that this event can be booked for. Set the department, course type, and general ledger account. Fill in the age range that is allowed to sign up. Then you can limit which days of the week the event can be scheduled for, date range the event can't be scheduled or certain dates not allowed, and the specific times that it is available to be scheduled at. Under Event Pricing, enter fees next to applicable categories. If a category is free, enter 0, otherwise it won't display in the list of options. Choose the type of billing. You mostly use per group or class for camps and classes. Most instances will be timed events with specific start times and durations. You will also permit multiple groups for almost all of these, which means multiple reservations can book it. If multiple sections or dates are bundled into one session, check Auto Book. If sales tax applies, check Taxable. If the event records attendance of people, check Count Attendance. If your institution uses kiosks or a web storefront, check the appropriate boxes. You can also add notes at the bottom. Next, click Schedule Performances. Performances are occurrences of timed events, like different showtimes of a movie. Change your venue if different from the default. Enter the date range to schedule within. Starting day loads based on your first day. If you're using AutoBook, set how many days are in the session. We'll do 2 examples. First, a session that occurs 5 days in a row, and second, a session of 4 sections that occur on the same day of the week for 4 weeks in a row. Change the duration if different from the default. Change the total seats if different from the default capacity. Check the boxes for the days of the week that the performances will be scheduled on. If you have 5 days in your session and Monday through Friday selected, your bundled session will be a section each day in succession for a week. Set the time if different from what you set as the default. You can assign up to 4 staff or volunteers to each session, which you can do now or if they won't be the same on each date, you can do it later. Click Schedule. Versai will give you an estimate of how many performances will be scheduled based on your settings. Confirm or go back to check if it seems way off. If there's a scheduled performance that conflicts, you'll have a chance to modify your options. At the end, Versai will give you a final report. Now we'll do another example with a different configuration. We'll set our date range for 4 weeks. Then we'll set our sections to 4. We only have Monday selected here, which we had set as the default. Now, this session is made of 4 Mondays in succession. In part 2, we'll go over how to book the events we just created to a reservation. For a copy of this information in step-by-step procedure with more detail, refer to the built-in user manual. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for when we upload additional videos. And remember, we're here to help. You can reach the Explorer Systems support team on the support forum of the Versai website, as well as via email and phone.